Right now, the annual Frozen Assets Festival is on at the Edgewater in downtown Madison. But frozen might not be the accurate word for this year. Find out how they adjusted. Also, a Badger football player who's headed to the NFL draft made one of his final public appearances in Madison before then. We take you there. And with the Grammys just a day away, meet the producer behind one Grammy-nominated song. Welcome to News 3 Now at 6. Well, good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jalen Banks. The 12th annual Frozen Assets Festival brought people to Edgewater again this year, but this time it looked a little different than it usually does. Braden Ross has the.
Hundreds of people will still come through the Edgewater today to celebrate Madison's lakes, even if the Frozen Assets Festival is a little less frozen than usual.
It being a really warm day.
It's safe to say this is the warmest Frozen Assets Festival on record, and that means it had to look a little different this year.
We've had to pivot a little bit this year with the changing weather. But, you know, you always have to change for weather in Wisconsin.
Executive Director of Clean Lakes Alliance, James Ty, says they've been checking in on the ice for weeks leading up to Frozen Assets, keeping safety top of mind.
The lake is actually pretty thick right now. It's about 7 to 6 inches in front of the Edgewater. It's the integrity of the ice.
Because while they'd love to have people out on the lake, they're trying to keep people out of it.
We worked with our meteorologists on staff and go, hey, let's just be super cautious and not put 1,000 people out on the lake.
So instead of the usual Frozen 5K on the lake, Clean Lakes Alliance brought people to the lake shore for the largest winter workout in Madison, plus tons of other activities to celebrate and learn about Madison's lakes.
On land, doing a workout, doing kids crafts, and a lot of the science that's coming from University of Wisconsin. We've got the physics lab.
And Frozen Assets is so much more than just a fun time. It's also a fundraiser for Clean Lakes Alliance.
We put all that money back into the community through advocacy, education, monitoring, and grants to do projects throughout the community.
Because whether the lakes are frozen or not, Ty says they always need our help.
It's really important. Learn what you can do as an individual to protect our lakes now and forever.
Reporting in Madison, Braden Ross, News 3 Now.
If you'd like to support Clean Lakes Alliance or learn more about Madison's lakes, you can find all the information you need online at cleanlakesalliance.org. And now, as for why the temperatures were so warm today, now's a good time to hand it over to meteorologist Alex Harrington, who's got our first one forecast. Alex, how's it feeling out there?
It's feeling pretty dandy out here. Definitely not polar-like on the patio like we were just a couple of weeks ago, and that's a great transition to ask, well, why are the lakes going through what they're going through with all of this melting? I got a graphic to show that. Look at that on Sunday, January 21st. That was just a few weeks ago, not that long ago. We had a high temperature of 20 degrees, and before that, we were in the single digits. Teens for highs, temperatures 5, 10, 15, if not 20 degrees below normal. Froze everything. Then, just like that, the temperatures flipped, and then we went into the 30s. Look at that. Even on February 1st, we had a high temperature of 44 degrees, which was pushing nearly 20 degrees above normal, and that's the reason why we're seeing all of the lakes, all of the snow quickly melt away with our wintry precipitation that fell just a couple weeks ago. Plenty more warm weather in the forecast. 53, that's what we're forecasting first here for high temperatures next Thursday. And even as temperatures dip down after that period of very, very warm temperatures, 30s are still above normal for this time of year. We could be looking at records next week, both in the low temperature department and in the high temperature department. So keep an eye on that. We'll see if we break some of those records. And of course, folks, here when you got that melting, cool, melting surfaces and this mild air, that's a perfect recipe for some patchy fog. Coming up in Maine weather, we'll break down who can expect that fog, how dense it might get, and how much rain we might get with that weather system next week that's coming up.
Alex, thank you. Today, the community got to meet a Badger football player headed to the NFL draft. Linebacker Muma Meta visited the U.S. Cellular store on the west side to speak to visitors and provide some autographs. Meta has partnered with U.S. Cellular through the season in a NIL likeness deal. He highlighted his work in promoting the company's phone features that encourage users to moderate their phone usage to connect better with others in person.
Here to support local businesses and just encourage people to, disconnect from their phones and put the phones down, get in us mode, and really connect with their friends, their family, and learning ways to encouraging people to kind of use technology in healthier ways.
Meta was named to the academic All-Big Ten team this season. He will look for his name to be called at the upcoming NFL draft, which will take place April 25th through the 27th. New at 6 tonight, 2 people were arrested in the overnight hours today after a stabbing in Fitchburg. It happened in the Belmar neighborhood near the Beltline. Fitchburg police responded to a large group gathering in the street. One vehicle had deliberately crashed into another one, and 2 individuals were stabbed. Non-life-threatening injuries were reported. Police say the people involved knew each other, and there is no threat to the general public. The man sought by Madison police after a fatal hit-and-run crash has turned himself in. 59-year-old Jules Taugna had been identified as a suspect on Tuesday for the incident on the Beltline at Fish Hatchery Road that took place late Friday last week. A woman in her 20s died after being struck by the vehicle Taugna was driving. Taugna turned himself in late last night and has been booked into the Dane County Jail. New information in the last hour, 2 lanes on I-3990 southbound are blocked after a vehicle caught fire. You can see there the extent of the fire. It happened close to mile marker 146, which is near McFarland. The Dane County Sheriff's Department is handling the situation and the blocked 3 lanes initially before clearing one of them up. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation estimated a 2-hour duration for fully clearing the road. Out-of-control wildfires consumed homes in central Valparaiso in the region of Chile on Friday night, burning through thousands of acres, according to Chile's national forestry body, CONAF. Some 7,000 acres in Valparaiso alone have been burned. Throughout the country, there were at least 158 reported wildfires as of Friday evening. High temperatures and strong winds have been blamed for the fanning of the wildfires, with firefighters fanning down massive flames as they tried to keep blazes away from homes. According to local media, preliminary reports claim about 1,000 homes have been damaged. We learned in the last hour the death toll has risen to 46 people. Coming up next, after 3 service members were killed a week ago in Jordan, the U.S. has struck back. We have the details. And coming up tonight at 10, the Super Bowl may be a week away, but the Super Bowl is right here in Madison with student-made bowls and lots of food on offer.
Have you heard? Tempur-Pedic sleep is better sleep.
With innovative memory foam developed by NASA, Tempur-Pedic mattresses reduce motion transfer, which means less tossing and turning so you can sleep undisturbed through the night.
But which Tempur-Pedic is right for you? Come to Denver Mattress and test for yourself. Or get a $300 gift when you purchase any qualifying Tempur-Pedic. And rest easy knowing it's backed by our 365-night better sleep guarantee. Shop Denver Mattress today, your Tempur-Pedic elite retailer.
A logo can do more than identify your company. It can connect in meaningful ways, energize your team, and inspire your customers. We're 4imprint, and we know your logo on the right product can create moments that matter. With 30 years of experience and thousands of products to choose from, we guarantee your order will be right the first time, on time, and for a great price. Be certain that the right moments will matter. Explore thousands of promotional products at 4imprint.com.
4imprint, for certain. Hepatitis C, don't just treat it, crush it with Maverick.
Conquer it with Maverick.
Cure it with Maverick. Maverick cures all types of Hep C
in only 8 weeks.
The virus multiplies daily and can damage the liver over time. Maverick stops Hep C and cures it. If you've had hepatitis B, it may flare up and cause serious liver problems during and after treatment. Tell your doctor if you've had Hep B, a liver or kidney transplant, other liver problems, HIV, other medical conditions, and all your medicines. Do not take Maverick with atazanavir or rifampin. Report right away yellow skin, stomach pain or swelling, confusion and bleeding or bruising.
Hep C, crush it with Maverick.
Conquer it.
Cure it in only 8 weeks. See Hep C gone with Maverick.
Ask your doctor about Maverick. AbbVie could help you save.
Experience the Channel 3000 News app today. Enjoy a website-like layout and swipe through articles without returning to the home screen. Download the Channel 3000 News app, powered by News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
U.S. forces targeted dozens of sites in Iraq and Syria with airstrikes, aiming at Iranian-backed targets. The attacks were in retaliation for the drone strike that killed 3 U.S. service members on Sunday. Bradley Blackburn has the latest on the conflict.
The air assault targeted dozens of sites in Iraq and Syria. 2 B-1 bombers were among aircraft used, and U.S. Central Command reported more than 85 targets hit, including command and control centers, weapons depots, and drone storage facilities. all linked to Iran's Revolutionary Guard and affiliated militia groups. The U.S. blames an Iran-backed militia called the Islamic Resistance in Iraq for an attack on a U.S. outpost in Jordan last Sunday, while an air defense system was offline to allow the safe return of a U.S. drone from a mission. An Iranian-made drone struck sleeping quarters, wounding 40 and killing 3.
I don't think the adversaries are of a one-and-done mindset, and so they have a lot of capability. I have a lot more.
Since the start of the Israel-Hamas war last October, U.S. forces in Iraq and Syria have been targeted at least 165 times. But the U.S. has avoided striking Iran directly, trying to prevent a larger war. In a statement Friday, Iran's president said, "We will not start a war, but if a cruel force wants to bully us, the Islamic Republic of Iran will give a strong response." The strikes were approved by President Biden and launched just a few hours after he attended the dignified transfer of the remains of those 3 U.S. soldiers. Staff Sergeant William Rivers and Sergeants Breonna Moffett and Kennedy Sanders all received promotions. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News.
And we've learned today that the U.S. and Britain have carried out strikes against Houthi targets in Yemen. Officials also tell CBS News that more strikes in Iraq and Syria are forthcoming. At least 15 people, including women and children, have been killed in 2 separate airstrikes overnight in Gaza's southernmost city of Rafah. That's according to the registration of office at a hospital where the bodies were taken. The attack follows a warning from the United Nations on Friday that the city may be a new focus of Israel's campaign against Hamas in Gaza. The first strike hit a residential building east of Rafah, while the second struck a house in a refugee camp in Rafah. The bodies of the 15 people have been taken to the main health facility in Rafah. Coming up next, the singer SZA is nominated for 9 Grammy Awards this year, more than anyone else. We hear from the producer behind One for Hits. And we'll also have another check of your first one forecast. That's after the break.
This right here is confidence in a bottle.
Not only does it change you on the outside, but something in the inside, knowing that you're looking better.
It makes me feel so much more confident than I've ever felt in my life.
They are some of the hottest videos on social media. Those videos claiming to instantly get rid of bags under your eyes. Well, today we're going to see one for ourselves and let you be the judge. It's called Plexiderm, and lifestyle expert Annette Figueroa is here to tell us why she says this one is for real.
This one is for real, and I'm so excited. We even have a video, and you'll notice the model has bags underneath his eyes and some sagging, and all he uses is a small amount on a clean, dry face, and that's how easy it is.
All right, what's the active ingredient?
Okay, so it's silicates that are minerals found in shale rock, and what it does is it tightens and lifts the appearance of bags underneath your eyes in as little as 10 minutes, no prescriptions, and very little effort. Even watching the video, this is a real, it's a model, but it's a real guy with real bags underneath his eyes.
My real true opinion is holy words I can't say on camera. This is absolutely unbelievable. I mean, I could feel it just lifting my skin. It was amazing. It feels good. Feels great. Looks even better.
And I did this to my father. We were at home, so we applied it to his under eye bags, and let me tell you, we were so excited. In under 10 minutes, they visibly disappeared from view, and now it is literally part of both of our daily routines. He calls me every single month saying, "Hey, Annette, I'm out of Plexiderm, please send me more." And not only does it work on the bags, it works on the appearance of crow's feet, fine lines, and wrinkles. The way you want to do it is you want to have a clean, dry face. You use a small amount because it's so powerful. You have high school reunions, you have events you want to go to, you want to look years younger, this is it.
This Valentine's Day is the best time to try Plexiderm at our startup price of only $14.95. Your solution is at plexidermtrial.com or call the number on your screen.
Everyone wants to hire people who are ready to work and passionate about what they do. People that are ready for an opportunity, a job, a career. They just need you to believe in them. Thinkability Wisconsin, providing workforce support for people with disabilities and their employers. They're ready to work and shape the future. All you have to do is start with yes. Join the movement at thinkabilitywi.org.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
With 9 nods, SZA is the most nominated Grammy contender this year. She wrote her hit album SOS during lockdown with producer Rob Beisel, who's up for 8 Grammys himself. CBS's Suzanne Marcus caught up with the LA-based hitmaker.
SZA's smash hit Kill Bill is an anthem for the brokenhearted. The music video is its own action film inspired by Quentin Tarantino's revenge epic of the same name. SZA created her sophomore album SOS during the pandemic, pouring her heart and soul into the music, inspired by the sounds of producer Rob Beisel. He takes us into his studio to talk about their collaboration. He'd play and she'd let the music guide her. These chords would become the intro beats to Kill Bill.
I played it and she just got really quiet, and I didn't know if she was like, and she was on her phone in the back of the room. I didn't know if she was like, I don't know, just like texting a friend or something. But lo and behold, she was like writing down some like lyric ideas, and after like 10 minutes, she's like, I have this idea, it might be like a little bit too crazy, and I don't know if I can like say this, but then she like sung the hook, like, I just killed my ex, and I just...
The best idea.
Yeah, no, I was just like speechless, like, whoa, you just did it.
He knew they had a hit when he couldn't stop playing the song on repeat. Yeah.
And I would drive around on my own time just listening to that song for fun. I couldn't get enough of it. And it's never like that. Like, I'm not the one, like, when I like am done working on a song for the day, like, that's it. Like, I don't listen to it. I need to like step away. But that one, it just kept like pulling me in.
What sets Rob apart is the unique sounds he creates, like this $1 flute he bought in Spain, to playing the accordion.
So yeah, this is this piano that I had got on Craigslist like a year or two ago. So yeah, and that was, you know, just tinkering on this, how the Ghost in the Machine thing kind of kicked off.
Rob taped the piano strings to muffle the hammers, which led to the original sound on Ghost in the Machine. With 8 Grammy nominations, an award would be nice, but Rob says there's nothing like the thrill of hearing others enjoy his music.
I was at like a concert, and in between sets they played Kill Bill, and like the entire room, it wasn't even a SZA concert, it was like another artist, and everyone in the room is like singing along.
Suzanne Marquez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
The 2024 Grammys, officially known as the 66th Grammy Awards, will air live Sunday night at 7 p.m. Central right here on CBS and will stream on Paramount+. And now let's get a look at your first one forecast with meteorologist Alex Harrington.
Yeah, Jalen, lots of nice things to still talk about here in the weather forecast. I can promise you the warm temperatures. I can promise you the showers. I can also promise you a little bit of patchy fog overnight tonight. And the 3 things that you need to know. Here's part of that recipe. Mild temperatures. We've got 36 in Madison, still 37 in Middleton. And with melting snow, that's the moisture, mild air, and the winds aren't that strong. Perfect recipe for a little bit more patchy fog to develop overnight tonight. We even have warmer temperatures out over southwestern Wisconsin, 38 in Boscoville, 35 in Camp Douglas, and 36 in Janesville. And I've been reminding our normal highs are in the upper 20s for this time of year. Again, perfect recipe for that patchy fog to develop again overnight tonight. So if you're heading off towards church or brunch on your Sunday morning, be on the lookout that there could be a couple of spots out there. Visibility down to 4 miles right now in Boscoville, off to the east out towards Milwaukee. Visibility starting to drop down just a bit. We are expecting, again, the visibilities to drop tonight. Midnight tonight, let's say the Dells, Madison, Portage, over towards Watertown. You see the visibility is dropping. Marquette and Green Lake counties, visibility is dropping. And then as we head towards the wee hours to mid-morning hours here, 6 o'clock in the morning, we see those visibilities drop across much of southern Wisconsin. But it's short-lived. The sun's going to go right through that. It'll burn that fog away by the time we get to about noon, and that should allow the temperatures to warm on up. Great night to take your dog out for a walk. A few passing clouds, temperatures in the 30s. We'll go down for 27 for a low tonight with that patchy fog out there and warming up into the 40s after lows. These are our normal highs for this time of year, but there are low temperatures, and we'll go into the 40s for a gorgeous day on your Sunday. Marching forward the rest of February, what's the chance of us being warmer than normal? Really, really high. Look at Madison, parts of the upper Midwest really entrenched in those deep, dark red colors. So that means the chance for us seeing temperatures in the 40s and 50s and then staying above normal even further out into the 10-day forecast, the likelihood of that pattern continuing looks very high. That weather system as we go into late Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday could bring us 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch of water, of rain. We're not looking at snow out of this weather system. A little bit more chances of that wet weather actually off towards the north and west. We'll keep an eye on that weather system to see if those amounts move up or down just a little bit. After that wet weather system, and again, I'm emphasizing wet weather system Thursday going into Friday. It is February. You'd be thinking we'd be getting some snow. We could be looking at a little bit of wet snow as temperatures transition closer to normal the following work week, as normal highs will be around 30. We're still a little bit above that as we go out into the future. A couple of viewer photos, pretty scene from Lancaster. Thanks so much, Nancy from Southwest Wisconsin, showing us that. And in Violas Park, got that contrast there and that playground equipment with the snow, but the snow is continuing to melt and melt away again. That forecast looking very mild as we go out into the future, Jalen. Temperatures averaging 10, 15, if not pushing 20 degrees above normal. No signs of winter really anytime soon. The only sign I see here in that 10-day forecast might be that Sunday, Monday weather system in the following week. That's pretty far out there, but we could see some wet snowflakes at that point in time. That's a ways away.
The fact that we're about to get into the upper 40s, maybe even touch the 50s, when we drop back down into 30s, it's going to feel like the temps we saw just a couple weeks ago when we were below zero. But I'm definitely going to enjoy those few warm days up ahead.
As I think many Wisconsinites will, though I would not be shocked to see quite a few people in shorts next week.
Yeah.
That's my forecast.
All right. Thank you, Alex. And still ahead in sports, it's a big weekend for Wisconsin sports. Andrew breaks down some top 10 matchups next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Announcing Madison Magazine's Best of Madison Readers Poll for 2024. Nominate the Best of Madison online today, including Harker Heating and Cooling for Best Heating and Cooling. Nominate Harker and all your favorites on MadisonMagazine.com.
I would end the day with sore feet, sore legs. The drugstore inserts that I was purchasing were really not very useful at all. I walked into the Good Feet store and the guy kind of grinned at me and said, I hear that a lot. I was living with chronic pain before going to the Good Feet store. Now I don't really have that problem. I'm able to do the things that I expect to be able to do, even at my advanced age. I feel pretty good about what's going on.
See what we can do for you with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Dear winter, we're coming. Our squad of vehicles with all-wheel drive and four-wheel drive is ready to take you on. Safety's the name of our game. Bundle up. Toyota.
Right now, you can get 3.99% APR financing for 60 months on a new 2024 Toyota RAV4. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
It's replacement window season. Do you have ugly, hard-to-open, drafty windows? Now is the best time to buy new Champion windows. Because when you buy two, you get two free. Buy two Champion windows, get two free? I guess that means if you buy four, you get four free. Buy six, get six free. Buy 10, get 10 free.
Hurry, Champion's Buy Two, Get Two free sale is for a limited time.
Great job, everybody. Thanks.
Call 888-4CHAMPION or schedule your free in-home estimate online today.
Imagine trying to take on one of the big car companies. It's not easy. Yet this year, one local law firm finalized the largest compensatory verdict in state history against an automaker, over $38 million. And it was no fluke. That same firm has been holding big car companies accountable for faulty designs that cause injury for over 50 years. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
Sunday after the Grammy Awards, this year's Grammy nominees will get a Southern Wisconsin surprise in their gift bags. Get a look at these hair pieces. They're from a Janesville company looking to forge new style standards for men. Sunday on News 3 Now at 10.
In the span of just 25 hours, there are not one, not two, not three, but 4 top 10 matchups on UW's campus this weekend. Women's hockey kicked off the high-powered stretch against St. Cloud State today. Badger women looking for their 10th straight win, but the Huskies took an early lead. They'd try to add to it here, but watch this glove save from Jane Gervais. Take one more look at that. She had 24 saves on the day, and Bucky would need them all. And then in the second period, Badgers trying to claw back into this one. Slap shot off the mark from Vivian Jungles, but there's Maddie Wheeler, right place at the right time, and she nets the goal. Badgers go on to win it in overtime. They'll look for the series sweep tomorrow. And another one of those top 10 matchups comes tonight when the Kohl Center plays host to a top 10 border battle. It's Minnesota versus Wisconsin. The men lost last night in overtime, but the series is the first top 10 border battle at the Kohl Center since 2005, not to mention it's a sellout. So far, have we mentioned top 10? I think we may have a couple times. The big one of the weekend is tomorrow when 6th-ranked Wisconsin hosts number 2 Purdue as the Badgers try to rebound from a collapse at Nebraska. That can all be forgotten about, though, if they take care of business against the Boilermakers tomorrow. The teams come in tied for first in the Big Ten. And, of course, Purdue has 7'4" Zach Edey, who comes in as the National Player of the Year, or at least that was last year. There's a lot on the minds of these players coming into this huge game. So I asked some of the Badger stars a simple question. What do you like about Purdue?
Yeah, they run really well. You know, they play really well together. Love the way they play well and compete, and you know it's gonna be a fun game.
Yeah, they're a really good team, really good coached. Got some really talented players, and they got Zach Edey. So I mean, that's the nicest thing I can say about it.
And the Bucks are back in action tonight, still looking for their first win of the Doc Rivers era. It'll be a bout of some of the league's biggest stars as Giannis Antetokounmpo faces off against Luka Doncic, who scored 73 points in a game last week. We could open up this whole thing about guys scoring insane numbers in the NBA, but let's talk a little bit more about that Badgers game tomorrow against Purdue. Such an exciting game, number 2 versus number 6, probably a sold-out Kohl Center. That's the type of energy that really, really gets you going, and it's the reason these guys come to Wisconsin in the first place.
What I wish they would have said was they have Zach Edey, but I wish they also would have said we also have AJ Storr.
Yeah, it's true.
So
it's true.
Who's been on the tear as of late? So definitely looking forward to that battle.
Yeah, he really has. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch tomorrow.
Absolutely. Alex, what do we have going on in weather? I see we've got some gold
We've got gold glasses on for very mild temperatures that we can expect in the forecast. Going to be kind of tough to stay inside tomorrow with temperatures in the 40s. A little patchy fog will start off your Sunday morning, but that's going to burn on off, and then we'll be looking at those temperatures soaring. Look at the records that we may be nearing or eclipsing this week, both in the high temperature department, and our overnight low temperatures are going to be so warm we may set record warm low temperatures by the time we get into the middle of the week. So I said I forecast shorts. Wisconsinites are probably going to get their shorts out
All
next
right,
week.
well, sounds good. Thank you, Alex, and thank you, Andrew. We'll see you back here at 10 o'clock. Let's make it a great evening.